All right, cool. So now we've come back to this. We've given all of our numbers. And then really quick, what number did we have? You can, you can go. Candy, if you want to
2,385.
hop off, you can. I just wanted to see you so we could talk about that one thing real quick, but you're good if you want to hop off. I get it. There you go.
2385. 2,385 milliliters.
So why did I decide drawing was a good idea? 2385. You know what? Just the fact that we have it as something that I can use, I'm super stoked, and I don't care how ugly. Yes, I care how, oh God, I really need to learn how to, I just need to get, I need to get a trackpad, guys. I need to get a big trackpad so that I can just stylus the heck out of this situation right now. And just be as glorious as I know it can be. And this will be what, 3350? Yeah.
Yes.
Total between the two. All right, cool. And then what is our net yield for our INO, which is our intake minus our
We
output?
got 3330.
Intake minus 30. Yeah, 3330 because 3350. Well, I'm liking threes today. All right. You guys know I'm slow. Why are you trying to make me go change stuff?
Well, I'm not. I was just wondering.
Because I'm trying to do the right thing. That's what she should have said. You were wrong because that's the truth. I was wrong. So correct me, lady. All right. So 3350. Now that I can hit keys correct. And then intake minus output was what I was trying to say.
965.
And then we had a net of what?
The apple is 965.
965.
Yes.
Positive or negative?
Negative?
It would be negative. Yes, 965. Did we get the same two?
The same two numbers?
Oh, the same two number or the same three numbers? Yeah.
Yep.
Good. All right. So that's the deal, basically. Easy enough, right? This was a really, really hard problem. So it's okay. It's going to take a minute. I don't see you having these hard problems. So again, going back to Lasix, this is important because I see that I have the equivalent of a normal saline bag worth of urine out of this person. If this person is a left-sided congestive heart failure patient who is having significant breathing issues related to all that fluid, remember left side lungs, which means you have chunky, bubbly sounding lungs, then you are absolutely going to have to get more of this off of them. So then what we would do from our end is I would look at this and go, okay, this isn't enough. I'd like to get, I don't know, 10,000 milliliters off of him. That would be enough fluid for this patient because he has pretty significant CHF and he's got really big legs and it's got to go. So I would be able to give another 3 doses of this realistically over a 24-hour period, probably 2 if I'm being fair, because we don't want to mess up our creatinine. Our creatinine is going to bust up our kidneys very quickly and potentiate them going into kidney failure too quick. So you have to watch that creatinine level. It will get really, really bad really fast. And these patients usually have higher creatinine levels because of that, because they're constantly dosed with this stuff. And what happens is they don't like to take it. So they're non-compliant and they come in when it gets really bad, or they start to take it, they run out because it's too expensive or they can't get to a doc or they don't want to, whatever reason. And then they come back in when it gets so bad they can't stand it, or, something, acutely happens to them. So we would definitely want to give them more. What's the other thing that we need to be concerned with giving this medication? There's actually 2 things. One is in dosing it if it's IV push, and this would be an IV push type of situation. So what's the problem with that?
With pushing it,
Yeah, because what's the time frame
we
that
could
we need to like hold and push that medication? Because you don't want to just pop it in. What happens if you just pop it in? There's a definitely a big side effect that is a notable side effect that usually shows up on your exams, your NCLEXs, so on and so forth. It's called ototoxicity. It is a severe tinnitus, ringing of the ears. And it is so severe that sometimes it is permanent. So you need to watch out for that. Immediately after, when you have this gush of urine out of a person, what's another thing that's going to be affected by this because of the change in fluid volume?
The potassium.
Potassium, very good because of the transfer in the loop with Henle. Perfect. So what would I need to expect this type of patient who's going to be on these new doses of Lasix IV push, Q8 hours, right? So 3 times a day. If I even bumped it up to 40, what would be the expectation that I would need to put them on as a supplement that I would maybe as a nurse need to remind a doc just in case they walk over it? Get out of my books. So if we're losing potassium, then we need to make sure we're putting what back in the body? Quite literally potassium. Yeah. Quite literally potassium. Yeah. So I know it sounds funny, but we're peeing out potassium. So
right. So we need to
potassium
put
back in because it's gonna get really low.
Right.
All right, cool. Don't like you're laughing because you're tired. Here's the thing.
No, I'm laughing because
that
it
is
was
true.
just
I know
that
I'm
simple.
tired.
It was that simple. It was making it
right.
hard.
And when you're so tired and you're so exhausted and you keep shoving more in, shoving more in, shoving more in, this is what happens. So this is why it's so important that if you get to this limit, I'm gonna be honest with you, take time, walk away from it for 25 minutes. I'm dead serious. Play Tetris for 5 minutes, right? If you were that tired that you need to get your brain scrambled, then you literally need to focus on something that's fun. And I will always tell you to play Tetris, even if it's 5-10 minutes. Trust me when I say a couple of rounds of doing that and you're charged back up, and it's evidence-based practice. So yeah, there's that. Do you have any questions?
Tetris, they don't make that. They still make that game.
Girl, I got an app. What are you talking about?
It's
No,
I have it on my
no,
iPad.
we need to talk about this right now. I literally tell my students, download free Tetris. Yo, it's about to get real. Boom. Like it is. Y'all think I'm playing when I say the things that I say. I'm not. This is me every day, all
No,
day.
I think it's funny, but I'm like, okay, I was shocked.
No, here's what it does. It gives you concentration. It shows you resolution of conflict. It shows you how to find a set of obstacles and very quickly maneuver out and find your own wheelhouse to make your own rules, flip your own battery, if you will, right? Because right now, what we try not to do is live in the life of a 6, which is down here, and we're trying to just reverse that little bad boy, go into the unification of what we're trying to do and be a 9 up in cloud 9 where you belong. Hi. Hi. Do you think that's just a coincidence? No, talk to Pythagoras. He'll tell you otherwise. It's totally meant to be that way on purpose. So, all right, cool. Any other questions about this? We talked about Lasix. That's going to be on farm, always a thing. I see it on NCLEX. We're going to talk about loss of potassium, always a thing on farm, never goes away for all of those things. We jumped into what all the conversions look like to milliliters. We did intake and output and explained it. We talked about congestive heart failure and left-sided and why it's left in lungs so that we have a hack for that. What else did we get into? We talked about creatinine and getting all busted up and messing up your kidneys, right? You don't want to take anyone to go get a CT scan because what is that if we do contrast, what's that going to do? It's going to raise that creatinine again, right? So like we have to be very, very careful with these things. If one of these patients needs to have an interventional procedure and we need to have a stent, well, guess what I got to use? I got to use contrast, right? To be able to put the stent in. So then it's going to raise the creatinine again, right? So then.
But don't we flush it?
Yeah. So what you have to do is you have to give them light fluids, and that's how you get away with it. You give them like 25 milliliters an hour very slowly. And the day before you have to give contrast or you have this procedure, you are very slowly pushing this normal saline into them and watching them like a hawk so that we can get enough contrast in them for that interventional procedure while they hold their breath. And we're all like, please don't. Yes, that's what we say. We didn't bust the kidneys. We didn't bust the kidneys. That's our victory dance in her song. Cool. I'm going to stop the video. She's just going to go ahead and sing it on home for us, and then we'll just continue our lecture. Ta-da is what we're trying to say.